And you do deserve a throne, of course.
Oh,
you are Doctor Who royalty. That's right.
Ole, ole.
Is this your first time at Long Island Doctor Who?
I did come to one a few years ago, and I don't remember very much about it too. I hate to think why.
Maybe you had a really great weekend.
I must have had a really good time.
Well, I was fortunate enough to interview you for Vorp magazine a couple of years ago, and we did a Zoom meeting where Colin Brockhurst, the editor, suggested I show photos to you, and that went over a treat. I really enjoyed hearing you reminisce looking at photos of sprites. So we're going to do something similar. We're going to recreate that. I've got even more photos.
Talk to me again.
That's right. Well, you're nothing if not a professional sadist. So we're going to do something similar. I've got even more photos this time and some questions queued up to go along with it. And we're going to have about a half an hour chat, and then we will bring up her manager, Rob Crane, and we will have a little tribute to William Russell. All right, can we have the first photo, please? Let's see how they come out. Oh, that's not number one at all. That's number two. There we go. Can you see that?
The other one, actually, the other one I would class as number one because it was the first time that we were photographed together.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Can we circle back to that one? Is that all right? Can we talk about this photo shoot right here? This was the first photo shoot. Was this like the introductory photo shoot before the show actually aired? An early promotional still.
I love that hat. What happened to it?
So when we spoke a couple of years ago, you said that Verity Lambert, many years later, the producer of Doctor Who, originally, she told you that you had asked her, why did you cast me?
That's
Yes, and what was her response to that?
we were sitting by the pool on the cruise. I persuaded her to go on the Doctor Who cruise, and she absolutely loved it. Contrary to what a lot of people thought, they said, oh no, it's not her sort of thing. I said, no, she's going to love it, and she did. And so we were very relaxed. And I said, Verity, there's something I've never actually asked you, it does intrigue me. Can you tell me, what was it about me that made you decide that I was okay for Susan? And she looked at me, straight in the eyes, and said, oh, you were strange. Do you mean original? Do you mean unique? She said, no. Strange. There you go. But then they wouldn't allow me to be strange, would they? I thought, oh, I've got carte blanche here, I can be as strange as I want to be, but all the weirdy stuff I wanted to put in was cut. Yeah, I know. I could have been so much weirder than that.
Well, and if I recall, the role was sort of sold to you as like an Avengers type role with a lot of physicality.
Well, I was told I could do almost anything I wanted to. And it was going to be fantastic. You know, every actor's dream when you go to these different places and have to sort of blend in with the people who live there, not be conspicuous as though they're for an acting role in different costumes and different situations. That didn't happen at all, did it? Never mind.
It seems that you were woefully underused, because you had a lot of skills. You were a dancer and an acrobat.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't want to say, I feel I'm being disloyal to say that Susan was boring, but compared to what she could have been if they'd allowed me to do what I really wanted to do, I think she was boring. I mean, I was a trained dancer, so I was very mobile, very strong. I could have done all sorts of things. I could have done at least the sort of things that Ian was doing, and I was never allowed to. I mean, I could had a go at those Daleks and they didn't know what to do. Wasn't it like?
It's a shame they didn't put you in a cat suit and
Absolutely.
throw you in front of the Daleks like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I could swim. I used to swim in my school. I was a good swimmer. I mean, I could swim underwater away from Daleks chasing me. And I was a rider. I had horses. And I could get away from the Daleks.
We would have liked to see that.
So that surely would have made Susan a much more interesting person. Many more dimensions to what she was. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a riding accident. I injured my shoulders every so often. I go, don't worry. I just think, but don't worry.
Well, it fits perfectly with the story you're just telling.
Oh, someone's crying and said,
It's Doctor Who
oh,
fans.
who's crying? What's the matter, darling? Oh, there you are. Hello, gorgeous. What's the name of
That's
this
Anna.
gorgeous thing?
It's Annika.
Annika. Hello, Annika. I used to know somebody called Annika. Hello.
Annika's a sweet.
Hello, lovely. Hello.
Also very short attention span.
Hello.
Can I have the next photo, please, Billy? All right, we'll come back to your favorite one here. So this was the first photo of you all together, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
And we had champagne in those glasses.
So that's after your press conference, right?
That's right, yes.
Mhm.
We needed that champagne before, actually.
And how are you received by the press?
Oh, very well, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were very intrigued, very interested, wanted to know much more about it than the BBC were letting them know. The BBC kept it very close to their chest. I don't know why.
Sounds familiar.
Well, we had a bit of a fight to get the thing on anyway, you know. A lot of people hated us. I don't know why. I mean, they just didn't want us to be successful. So I'm surprised there wasn't a lot. Well, that's the answer, maybe. People trying to sabotage us. That's the answer to the things that happened at Lime Grove Studios. At Lime Grove Studios were a hideous place to work in. They were terribly, terribly small. And in those days, the cameras, I mean, they were huge. I mean, they were as tall as this thing here. And great clunky things, very difficult to move. They couldn't move quickly. And they had these great thick cables coming from all over the place, designed to trip us up. And yeah, they were very difficult to move around in, and they're very, very hot. And they had sprinklers that used to come on if it rose above a certain temperature. And there was no warning, so you'd be in the middle of your part, and suddenly, whoa! Happy days.
What excitement.
The funny thing is, there's a sort of a very odd thing that happened because I think the first day I was filming in Lime Grove, we had an event with the sprinklers coming on and bells going, and because they must have thought the studio was on fire or something. And then recently, when I was in Cardiff doing my little Spitnikov, just before I said my first line, the alarms will go. Here we go again.
It's all happening again.
Who is it? Come out, show yourself.
Emily Lambert. It's an angel.
I better not read this. Okay, so so before I knew it, there were half a dozen burly men, rather like Glenn. Have we all met Glenn, the lovely Glenn? Is he around? Glenn, are you around? Show yourself? No? Well, you can't miss him. I mean, he's about 10 feet tall and incredibly fair. I mean, I've never known such a fair man in my life. I mean, he's just so imposing. But as gentle as can be. Lovely man. So yes, there were half a dozen of these big, burly, lovely men who came to lift me off my feet. Even though I was kicking and screaming, let me down, don't let me carry. And the studio, I don't know if any of you have been there, it's very, very impressive and very, very dangerous. You've got these ramps at a tremendous angle, about 45 degrees, with no real protection either side of you, and you can really fall off and have a serious injury. So I thought, I'd rather be in control of what I'm doing myself than having these people who I don't know swinging me above their heads. Anyway, there you go, they're top, I'm here in one piece.
We're so pleased. Acrobatics probably came in handy then.
Oh, would have been if I'd been allowed to do it, yeah.
Again, and yet again, not able to use the acrobatics.
Sure.
Next time.
I think I'm a bit past that now. You know, I could get enough and stuff again. I'd rather do the horses.
I feel like that's easily written in. So, to this, the cast and the producers and director, you were all quite close, it sounds like.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. You used to go get drunk at the TV set bar together?
No.
You?
Disgrace. I would never have been allowed to do anything like that because William Hartnell was there and he took his role as grandfather very, very seriously. And really treated me as though I was his 15-year-old granddaughter. And so, God forbid I should want to go and have a drink. He would come running up saying, "What are you doing? What are you?" He didn't call me Susan that crap. "What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing?" I said, "Bill, I'm having a drink. Please go away." And he was so protective, it was crazy. Very sweet.
And you had to give him the what for at one point, though, didn't you? And he stepped over a line.
More than one.
But at one of the times you said you got an apology out of him after.
Oh, I did indeed, yeah. Because, I mean, let's face it, here I was with a healthy pay packet coming on a regular basis. And it was the time of Mary Quant. I mean, I don't know if you know about Mary Quant. She was a fabulous designer. You've got a photo of some
We got a photo of, oh, that's, well.
And well, the bottom half is her, yeah. My stripy top, which everybody seems to associate with Susan, was the top that went with those leggings. I was not allowed to wear the whole outfit because it made the cameras go bananas. I had no control over anything much, did I? I was a puppy.
Well, all right, so that's all right. Picture a photo of her with Bill Hartnell. Very good. Then we're moving on to this photo now.
So my minute kitchen.
Oh, wonderful. And that's your daughter there. Is that Miranda?
Miranda, yes, is the only.
And so, when you did Susan, you were 22, I believe, when you started the role, and you were already a mother.
I was indeed, yeah.
So William Hartnell giving you a hard time. You were a grown lady.
Exactly, and as a grown lady, not quite young, as somebody who was appreciating all the lovely new fashions and wanting to try out everything, every time there was a new week of rehearsals, every Monday I used to come in wearing a different outfit, and Bill came up to me saying, "What are you doing now?" I said, "What am I doing now?" He said, "Well, look," he said, "you're spending too much money." "Bill, excuse me, it's my money." He said, yeah. He said, "But, you're an actress." "Yes, Bill." "Well, actresses are not noted for getting regular payments, regular income." I said, no, but at the moment I'm very happy to spend what I've got on what I like. So please, Bill, just back off. I don't think you used to being spoken to. But he's the one. So he huffed and puffed on his way. Next thing I know, the next day I came in, and in my dressing room were bunches of flowers and bottles of champagne. And notes from him all over the place saying, "Sorry." He was nice and sweet. No, we got on very well. There's only one time we had a bit of a bristly time. I love horses. I love everything to do with them, but I don't bet on them. I'm not really into the racing side of it. But he was. He loved his bets, and they were very important to him. And anyway, one day came, and it was the approach of the national race, which is a very important race in England, and everybody hopes to win something on the national. Most of them don't. They hoped. So anyway, Bill was having a bet on it, and I said, "Oh yeah, just for once, I'll have a little go on that." He said, "Okay." So I don't know where he got it from, but I put on something called an accumulator. Anybody know what that is? Yes? Who's the on-hard person?
It makes you go up if you win a lot.
Well, what happens is you put a bet on not just one horse, but on 3 horses. And if your first bet comes in, then that goes on the next horse. And then if they come in, they go on to the next horse. And so you accumulate, if they all come in, you can get quite a lot of money. And me, who'd never bet in my life before, mine all came up.
Whoa!
You were really he was going to explode. He was stomping around saying, don't believe it. Anyway, there you go. We had quite a lot of fun.
Well, I want to circle back to, can we have photo number 5? There.
What happened to you?
There.
Oh, no, I hate this.
No. Go back to the last one. Go back to the last one. Okay. So, being a young lady in the swinging 60s in London, that sounds pretty amazing. You mentioned very briefly in our last interview that there was so much culture and art happening. And I'm wondering, did you attend? Did you go to shows? Did you go to parties?
Yeah.
Tell us all about it. Okay, what happens in swinging 60s London stays in swinging 60s London?
Absolutely. I'll tell you one thing. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I was in a play about a drug addict, and suddenly the rest of the cast became pushers. Drug dealers. They were saying, well, if you're playing an addict, how are you possibly going to know how you're supposed to behave unless you had a little drug? I said, no, not interested. So anyway, they kept on and on and on. I said, I'll tell you what I will do. I'll sit on one you have. Watch it. So I did that. There was a bunch of them, 4 or 5 of them sitting on the ground. And I've never seen anything so stupid in my life. I don't know if any of you have watched anybody who's a bit high, perhaps more than a bit high. Anyway, there they were, giggling away and dribbling all over the place. And I thought, never, ever do I want to look like that or behave like that. So it was a good lesson to me, because never was I tempted after that.
You're scared straight. You're scared straight.
I was head straight, yeah.
Can we have number 6? Okay. So you did a lot of promotion for the show every weekend?
Every weekend,
Yes.
every weekend.
What kind of promotions were you doing?
My family at all.
You said you brought your daughter.
I did. That's why. I took her with me everywhere because it's the only chance I had to be with her. She wasn't great at this.
And you told me before that there were so many different kinds of events you were going to, like from the teeniest, tiniest, poorly attended fete to huge crowds.
Oh yes, huge crowds. Oh, can be very. I mean, you are lovely sitting here like that, but then when there's a few thousand of you and you're all pushing to try and get a look or a feel or whatever. And there was one event which I was taken to by helicopter because I had quite a lot of different arrangements that day, and I could never have fitted that in if they hadn't taken me by helicopter. It was wonderful. There's a helicopter pad on the Thames, or beside the Thames, and they picked me up from there, and so I was taken along the Thames and I had a bird's eye view of London, literally, and it was exciting. It was really exciting. Anyway, so we got closer to the event, and I saw this mass of people, a seething crowd of fans. And, I mean, they were lovely, but they were exciting, And I was excited to see them, but it was slightly worrying because there were so many of them. And in fact, they called out, it's not the army, but the Boy Scouts. Which was lovely.
What was a children's show?
But I thought it was lovely, and they sort of went ahead of me and sort of, like Moses, dividing me around. And that was great.
It's amazing to think how popular the show was from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Can we have the next photo, please? There's another one.
Yeah.
Were there always Daleks at all of these fates? Can we have the next one, please?
He's got me. No escape.
One more.
Oh my God.
So you're inside an actual Dalek in this one.
I am.
Was that a fun experience for you?
No, and I was an operator. I can't imagine how they did it and survived because it was, apart from being claustrophobic, it was worse than sitting on a plane in a confinement plane. And yeah, they must have got very, very hot and very, very thirsty. And what the hell happens when you want to go to the loo?
You don't want to know.
I do know.
Tell us.
So, you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the absolute truth. When they were going, remember the scene when they went over the bridge in London, over London Bridge? Yeah?
Yeah.
And it was terribly early in the morning, freezing cold. And these poor guys, you know, can get a bit desperate at times. And one of them told me that, I don't know if you know, but the bottom of the Dalek is completely open.
Oh no. No.
So they trundle along till they see they're over a drain, and then...
No.
You gotta do what you gotta do. So after you left Doctor Who, you were a little worried about getting typecast, I understand. Just a little. So maybe you took some roles that might have broken far away from season 4.
Well, that was the idea, yeah. I mean, I had quite a few scripts coming through the door which were almost identical. Same sort of part. And I did not want the same old, I wanted new pastures. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so then this part came in, which is part of it. Are there any children there?
These kids are cool.
Okay. Shall we say part of a lady of the night? Yay! No more Susan. And afterwards, you will not believe what happened. I mean, people were sending me letters and ringing up and coming and banging on the door. I mean, it was ridiculous. How dare you play this part? I let my children stay up late to watch it.
Can we have the next one? So, to circle back around, then eventually, so did you stay in touch with the fandom between when you started doing conventions? How often were you doing conventions? So you were doing the Fates while you were Susan.
Yep.
What was the next time that you were in front of fans in a Doctor Who capacity? Rough. Give me an exact date.
I mean, there were a lot of opening of shops and things.
Okay.
And,
Even after you were no longer Susan?
even after. And a lot of other things. I mean, the best things were like Fates when they had donkey rides and things. Yeah, we wanted donkeys. And there was lots of ice cream around and that sort of thing. But opening people's shops and things was boring. But there you go. Needs must.
Right. These must. You gotta eat. Yeah, the next one. But then the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who.
Oh,
And Doctor Who
This
at the
was
proms.
so wonderful, an amazing time I had.
Are you all familiar with Doctor Who at the proms?
Yeah.
Did anybody actually go there? No,
Anybody been?
you missed an incredible event. It was, does anybody know the Albert Hall in London? Yes? No? How huge it was, right? And anybody on stage knows about that big and wherever you're sitting. Oh, to be on that stage with a full house. And I wasn't introduced, I came on this, I kept being told, I kept saying, now, no. They wanted me to come on at a specific moment in the music, and this particular bit of music was specially written, and it was called Day of the Daleks, and it was a very dramatic piece of music, and they'd chosen a particular moment with the dramatic piece of music, and then just stopped. And in that moment is the moment I was supposed to go on. So I waited until somebody gave me a shove in the back, and then on. And I bought this dress, as you can see in the photograph there, which is full length and covered in sequins, which made it quite heavy to move actually. But it did what I wanted. It sparkled. There was lots of lighting and everything, and it sparkled. So I liked my dress. It was great. And so I had no introduction, and I wasn't in the program, so nobody actually knew I was going to be there. And so I walked on the stage, and everything went very quiet. And so I started speaking to the audience, saying, hello, I'm Carole Ford. And then there was, it was like a football match. It was incredible, I loved it.
That's wonderful. Everybody loves you. Because you are Dr. Who loves you. There's one more photo before we move on to the next section of this interview. Quite a recent one, in fact. So you were back on the show. Well, what can you tell us about that experience? What's not NDA'd out that you can tell us about going back into the TARDIS?
Oh, well, thank God I don't have to zip up anymore. I mean, I had to be terribly careful for 15 months. I couldn't raise an eyebrow or do anything to suggest it. I was anywhere near coming back. And it was very, very strange. And it was very, very difficult. And Rob and I had someone to share it with. Thank God. Where's Rob? Where are you, Rob? Yeah. Rob and I, thank God, had each other, and we could talk about it, and we could say whatever we wanted to, which was wonderful. Rob is my lovely manager and very good friend. And he shares very, very well indeed. I know I wouldn't arrive anywhere on time, if at all. Thank you, Rob.
Was there anything that was filmed that wasn't used?
Only the second episode. Not that it made any more sense if you'd seen it. Nothing that I did made any sense to me at all. I was told, don't worry, never does when not all right. So he doesn't even know what he's going to write next. It helped me at all. But we were in Cardiff, in a hotel in Cardiff, and we had to creep around it like being a member of MI5 or something. And we just dare not show our faces in this. Anybody recognise me and put two and two together and made 500. Yes.
Well, it was delightful to see you back in the show. And it's also we'll see more of you. Please. We're going to pivot here. And talk about a fellow named William Russell. Also, we'd like to get Rob Crane up on the stage with us, please. This is Carole Ann's manager, Rob Crane.
Thank you very much. It's so bizarre because thank you so much. I was nodding back there. But we've been working together now. I think we're on the eve of 25 years.
Yes, our silver anniversary.
Yeah, and this is the first time Jen stayed with us. So. The one thing I must probably do a post-script about when we were talking about Cardiff. When we went back there, Oh, sorry. When we were back there for about a week, I spoke to the location manager who went over. I said, tell me where you're filming so I make sure that we're nowhere near. For the whole week. And we went to Cardiff Bay on our second day. And we just admiring the bay, admiring the sunshine. And two people from the Doctor Who Appreciation Society come along. And they said, what are you doing here? And we said, we're doing a documentary. Right. Then I found out later they were actually part of the location crew, so they knew exactly why they the heat was off.
So, William Russell, affectionately known as Russ, sadly is no longer with us. But I would love to talk to you about your memories of William Russell. Before you met him, I'm assuming you knew who he was. This is for this is 1956, The Adventures of Sir Lancelot. I believe he did not actually use the pipe in the show. But you were, I'm assuming, aware of him before you met him.
Very much so. I must admit, I've never seen Ivanhoe. I have seen him.
So you may be passing familiar with him before you met him.
No, I think this was the first time.
Oh, great, okay. Did he have do you know if he had a reputation at all? What was his? Oh, not like that. Lowercase r. As a professional, what were people's impressions of him?
Oh, you could not love Ross. I mean, he was the most delightful man. I just started crying over it. That's all I was going to do this. But I was so terribly. And we were very, very close. He was very supportive. Kept trying to keep me out of danger because I desperately wanted to show him I was able to do these things. So I would scrabble up that wall and try and do all sorts of things I wasn't supposed to do. Whether he was being paid by the BBC to keep me safe, I don't know, but I mean, there was an occasion when I don't know if any of you have seen that particular episode where we were trying to see if we could stop the Dalek by putting a foul cloak on. And the others had the fun time of actually jumping on the Dalek and wrestling it, and I wanted to be in on that. there's me jumping around trying to get on, there's him holding my ankles and pulling me back and saying, "Oh, hurt yourself." Hurt me more by pulling my feet than just letting me do it. So anyway, between him and Bill, they treated me like cut glass, you know.
That was actually one of my questions. Is it sounds like Bill Hartnell was very grandfatherly to you, and I was wondering if maybe
Ross was like uncle.
Okay, all right. So it was probably familiar, very familial then.
Oh yeah.
But no wagging. He never wagged his finger at you.
Oh, no. He was always in on the fun. Oh, yeah. Always a sparkle in his eye, always a twinkle, always ready with a joke.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the first time you met him?
Do I? Yes, it was a photograph.
The press photograph.
We were standing there with the empty glasses, which we yeah, we all met. It was the first time we all got together.
Really? Okay, so that was before you even filmed the first
Oh
episode.
yeah, we met each other and wondered what they're like.
So it was a little social lubrication with the champagne.
Yeah.
And Rob, when was the first time that you met us?
I met him for the first time. It was I don't know if you have the equivalent in the States, but in England we have a thing called the Heritage Association. I've never used that, I've never been on, so
You're doing it.
thank you. Blue plaques are placed on buildings around England to commemorate where somebody lived or worked. And at the BBC TV Centre in Shepherd's Bush, there was an event to commemorate Bill, Pat and John, with family and friends of the first three doctors there, so Carole and Russ were invited, and that was the first time I met him. And then we went off to, I think, a lunch at a doctor's or somewhere like that. It was Elite Hotel, it was very nice. But I just remember this very striking, imposing man coming in, and met him, and lovely guy, absolutely lovely guy. So that was my first time.
Right. And you had mentioned something around the 50th anniversary with William Russell.
we were at the Excel, I think it was in the Docklands. It was a crazy day. It was the 23rd of November 2013. And we were with Russ, and we had just a crazy but great day. Fans from all over the world attended. And in fact, when we got back, Carole and Russ were interviewed in a room like this. Lots of lovely people. And it was only when we got back after the event we realised that there was another cavernous hall down the corridor where all of the guests from the current series were being interviewed. Nothing about it. We were just sort of crossing like ships and light everywhere. But the moment that I remember most vividly was a lovely moment. Your final event of the day was autographs. And Russ's. Cavernous autograph hall. But the timing was interesting. The autograph started at about 4:45. And there was actually a lady standing opposite me from the Netherlands. She was one of the staff. And I said to her, you know, about 20 minutes is a special moment, and you're here with the original stuff. And she just said, I'm about to try then. It was lovely. But anyway, all the attendees came up, and I was so happy to be there, and you could tell some of them, you know, prepared lovely things to say. Because I was sitting with Russ, and Carole was sitting on the side with another helper. And suddenly, the staff stopped the queue, and we heard this voice booming over the loudspeaker saying, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 5:15 on Saturday the 20th of November. In 1963, at this time, Doctor Who started. Doctor Who is now officially 50 years old, and the place erupted. It was like the best New Year's moment we'd ever seen. People were hugging. And I just remember Russ and Carole got up, we just put your pens down, we got up and we gave each other the biggest bear hug. Yeah. That was the
Well, so I understand, to backtrack back to the 1960s again, rumor has it that Russ was very good at managing Bill Hartnell's eccentricities, I've heard. When he might have been having a moment.
Calmer down. Yes, he had such a calm demeanour about him, and such a jovial personality. You couldn't have a fight with him. I never tried, but I wouldn't imagine. Just smile at you and twinkle, just smile.
That sounds like a good management skill. So do you think he was actively putting out that vibe, or that's just how he was? Or
That's just
very genuine, it sounds like. Yeah. Can we have the next photo? There's one last photo on this set.
Aww. Woohoo.
So it seems to me you two did a lot of conventions together. Was he fond of the conventions?
It wasn't his favourite.
But he was good at it anyway.
Very good.
And so many actors are actually shy introverts,
Yes,
which is
yes.
interesting to me. Did he fall into that category?
Yes, exactly.
Yep. So, do you have any favorite memories of your time working with him? And I'm sure there were many things that happened. Well, maybe while you're thinking about it, possibly we could field a few questions from the audience. How does that feel? Yes.
When the show premiered, the origins of the Doctor and Susan were shrouded in mystery. There was no Gallifrey, no Time Lords.
No backstory at all.
No backstory. And I'm curious, in order to play the mystery, did you and Mr. Hartnell ever discuss with the producers, like, can we just come up with like our own little backstory so this way we can make it believable?
Yeah, possible. No, it was very important to both Bill and I. We both actors who needed to have a backstory for our characters. And so Bill and I made it up together.
used to label things on the TARDIS. You were labeling things on the TARDIS console, weren't you?
Yes. Sorry?
What was it?
Well, we thought that there was this huge building on Gallifrey, like a big garage, where all the tired old all the tired old TARDISes were being repaired. And he had his favourite one, and as his granddaughter, long before we were appearing, as we were a few years before we actually appeared on TV, he used to take me in and show me the TARDIS and show me how it worked and what all the different buttons were for, and because I was fascinated. And while we were doing one of these little explorations, a war was exploding outside, and we were trying. There was some strange alien creatures trying to overtake us, which was not anything new. This was always happening, but nevertheless, this time, Carole was taking it very seriously, and decided that we'd just take advantage of where we were, and just actually use the TARDIS to leave the planet. And that's how we arrived on Earth. But why we actually arrived on Earth at the time we did is a mystery. I don't know. I think somehow or other, in his own inimitable way, he'd been imagining that Susan might find a good education on Earth, and had found Cold Hill School was the right kind of school. Yes?
The question is, what was it like working with Jacqueline Hill?
She was a delightful person. She was a really, really genuinely nice, kind, very talented person. And she was a very experienced actress and had been in many television series before Doctor Who. And we were just chatting around on it, and she said, we're going to have lots of visiting artists coming to do parts on the show. We must make them very welcome, because I remember that on a number of occasions I've been in a series and the rest of the cast had a sort of clique where they kept themselves to themselves, and I felt very lonely and unwanted. And so I took it a bit too far. As was known. And as soon as anybody came on the set, everybody joined, I just run up, give them a big hug and say, welcome, welcome, come have a cup. And sometimes it was taken the wrong way, but never mind. Sorry, yes?
Yeah, you did mention there was some other things that might have been filmed, and I imagine shooting the part kind of repainted a few things, but it really didn't be hanging in, I guess, the popular fan theories.
Oh, this has nothing to do with Jackie, this is to do with me.
What?
This is, what you're asking me is nothing to do with Jackie. Because we were talking about Jackie.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, that's the general question.
Okay. So I'm sorry, can you finish it?
So anyway, shooting League, I think I've read a few things, it really kind of left you hanging. I think the popular theories, they were kind of getting around the talking team and going with her.
Yeah. I was desperate to find out what that was all about.
But the other thing is, like, for years and years, any mysterious female character, it's Ronnie, it's Susan, and then we get them both in the same episode. It's always great.
Does anyone have any questions about William Russell specifically? Yes.
I loved hearing the two of you reunite in Susan's War. Did you get to record that together? Was that a lot of fun?
A lot of fun, yes. I love working for Big Finish anyway, no matter what we're doing or what we're with. But it's always a wonderful experience. Is Lisa around here by any chance? No? Well, he's director who directed me in most of the things I did for Big Finish. And I absolutely adore working. I mean, I love her as a person anyway, but I love working with her. She's a marvelous director. Very encouraging, very encouraging. But maybe you could try doing it like sort of 100 decibels quieter. Okay. Or the opposite. Perhaps we could take it up a bit. Yeah, sure. But she always had a very good reason. She was very clear about what she wanted, which is very helpful to an actor. Because sometimes you're wallowing around a bit. You know, I mean, the writers are always marvellous, but they don't always make it as clear as you'd like them to make it about the character, what they wanted to be doing, nothing.
And how did you get booked into your first Big Finish?
How?
Do you remember, did they approached you or something?
I'm not sure they approached me, I think they were. Oh, did they? Oh, right. I just said yes.
We were at something like this, and Rob was looking after me, and they were chatting away in the corner. The next thing I knew, I'm being invited to do a Big Finish.
Yeah, I think I just said the name, the word Big Finish. Yes. That was
Yes?
I've got a mug for you.
So much.
With photos of her from Gallifrey one in 2019. That's lovely.
Oh, thank you. That's very, very kind.
Going out with a bang.
About your work with William Russell on Susan's War and everything, your camaraderie was like there. Why didn't you guys end up in the same place at the same time for it? I mean, it was like
How do you mean?
Why did they not pair them together for a Big Finish?
Big Finish. I mean, it was, yeah, that would have been so epic.
Well, it was the same thinking as the regular TV shows that we're doing. I begged Susan's character to be expanded in so many ways. One of those ways is, I said, look, she's a 50-year-old schoolgirl, she's got this incredibly dishy teacher. Surely she'll have a crush on him, wouldn't she?
no way. No way.
It was quite ditchy.
Seeing this advertisement, but I don't care, I think this is right. You may have read in the Doctor Who press that to come out in October, which is Doctor Who: The Adventures After anthology. Carole was invited to write a story. It's a sequel to The Edge of Destruction, which I helped with another writer.
I wouldn't have been able to do it without it.
But Carole has written dialogue for Ian for the first time. That
What's the name of the book?
The book is called The Adventures After, and the story that Carole and I wrote is called The Verge of Death.
The Verge of Death. Very good. Well, that's very exciting.
And Carole has also recorded the audio version of it as well.
Wonderful.
When it comes out, sorry, tomorrow.
October. 23rd of October.
At exactly 12:01. And we have time for 2 more questions. Yes.
Obviously, you played a huge picture, but it was all in life. The question is, what was the most important thing you learned from him in real life?
Real life. Oh, just to go with the flow, keep in a zen situation, don't let anything trouble you. Don't take it to heart when Will does his dark things.
Yeah.
Can somebody get this person mic?
No, I was gonna say, back
Oh, sorry,
in
that's
the
you.
early 60s, when you were doing Dr. Who, when you first started that, were you more recognizable to the public as a character from Doctor Who or from Day of the Trippies?
Oh, definitely Doctor Who.
question was she more recognizable to the British public as a character from Doctor Who or a character in Day of the Triffids? And so definitely Susan Foreman.
Yes, yes. I might actually say thank you. I really did not enjoy the lecture. It was not my favourite experience ever as an actress. Did you love it? Oh, that's good. So let's do a hands up thing. Who's seen it?
Who's seen Day of the Triffids?
Okay, keep your hands up if you liked it. There's only one hand left. You, sir.
We have time for one very brief question. Very brief question. In the very back.
What was it like acting with Richard Herndl playing playing the character of the first Doctor after he passed away?
It was surprisingly easy. I closed my eyes and just played his voice, played against his voice or with his voice. He was terribly concerned about getting it right. Terribly concerned. He'd take me up into a corner and kept saying, "Are you sure I've got that right? Do tell me which one." So I had to take on Bill's persona and tell him how he would have done it. But I said, "Please, are we going to do it just
That's a good question. Well, we have run out of time, I'm afraid, but it's been such a pleasure talking to you.